Billy here. We're going to do a walkie-talkie today. Maybe it might be more enjoyable for you to watch than my ugly mug. Look at the scenery. Get used to holding this thing steady as she goes. Go ahead. Well, what are we going to talk about today, Uncle Bildy? Just going through the internets and all my feeds and looking at people's posts, people I know, good people. And they keep reposting this stuff, how all this stuff that's happening these days. It's a damn communist plot. You're being distracted. That's not the real target here. Shouldn't be your target at all. I'm going to keep flogging on this horse. It's already been dead a long time, but people keep bringing it up. Well, I'm going to keep beating it. It's just about pulverized now, but people keep bringing it up and regurgitating it. Americans are pretty clueless, for the most part, about ideology. They don't even want to know about it. It's real important. And the difference between an ideology and a political mechanisms, political architecture that supports ideology. It can be used to support just about any ideologies. And I've explained this a number of times. I'll explain it again. In 1919, Jacob Schiff, a huge plutocrat, American banker, well, I think we all can pretty much guess what sort of fella he was. I believe he's one of Adam Schiff's ancestors. Can't really prove it, though. It seems like it's been scrubbed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're all psychopaths. He was affiliated with Rothschild's banks, and he gave Leon Trotsky $20 million to overthrow the Tsar and establish a dictatorship of the proletariat. Now think about that. Why would the world's foremost richest men, the plutocrats, want to establish a dictatorship of the proletariat, of the workers? Why would they do that? Because it's a trick. That's why. It's always been a trick. Rothschild got many times back on his investment when all the commissars went in. And it wasn't Russians. The Bolsheviks had an influx of people from New York and London and set up their apparatus, and they confiscated the property of the Tsar's court and all the landowners. And Rothschild got a cut. It's a system. Sounds like a capitalist system to me. Actually, piracy, theft. But yeah, that's what happened. I have friends that are communists. My wife used to be one. I have friends that are full-tilt Bolsheviks. They've modified their platforms. They've taken out the atheist plank and all the other contradictions, and they want to focus on the class struggle, and there's a class struggle. I'm not a communist. Like I said, I believe it's a trick. It was a trick. And it's still a trick, because it keeps you fighting your Chinese communist boogeyman. And there are some pretty crazy communists in the U.S. They're not really communists, though. There's pseudo or neo-communists who are focused on identity politics and weird stuff like that. But the communists aren't doing this stuff to you. The global plutocracy is. The richest people in the world, the corporations, they've organized this. They're the ones that are doing it. They want you to focus on communism. Oh yeah. It's a decoy. Stop reposting this crap. Somebody's. Oh, it's another one that's going around. Is the speech Khrushchev supposedly gave, describing all the stuff they're going to do to America so that your children will be communist, and describing the stuff that's happening today. It's a hoax. There's I posted an FBI site that had FBI archives, all of Khrushchev's speeches, all the things that recorded that he said, all the things that released to newspapers. There's thousands of pages. If you can find that little meme that's going around, if you can find that he said that somewhere in there, I'll eat my hat. I'll literally eat my hat. I'll get one of my hats, I'll cut it up in little pieces, I'll put the pieces in my food until it's all gone. Because it's not in there. He didn't freaking say any of that. Stop spreading hoaxes. You're not helping yourself doing that. It's easy to check out and see it didn't happen. It's really hard to prove a negative, but he got the FBI recording and documenting everything somebody did, and you can't find it in there, and it's something so blatantly hostile. I think it'd probably be in there, wouldn't you? This is bullshit. Quit spreading bullshit. And quit going after straw men. You need to focus on the real enemy. You got projects that are put in front of you in the media. Real heroes like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk. They're getting you to focus on the communists are doing this. Socialism is bad. Yeah, okay. It didn't work in Venezuela. Why did it work in Sweden? It didn't work in Venezuela because the U.S. and England stole all their gold and blockaded them and foobarred everything that they could financially. And then, well, look, socialism doesn't work. I'm not a socialist, but I just don't like all this unfairness and these lies. Anyway, my arm's getting tired. But, the stuff keeps coming up. You got to keep refuting it. And I'll do it as effectively as I can. You need to stay focused on the real enemy. Quit wasting your energy. Quit reposting lies. Oh, and on that subject, you notice in Facebook they keep allowing people to perpetrate fraud. Like you see these free energy devices, and this heartwarming story about how these plucky kids built a car that gets 3,000 miles out of a tank of gas. It's an old Studebaker or something. You got Grandpa's old Studebaker, and they're such little geniuses. And they fix it so it figures out to like 120 miles a gallon. If you believe that, then you're really stupid. There's only remember this. I'll take it to fundamental principles. There are only so many BTUs in a gallon of gas, and there's not enough to get that Hulk 3,000 miles on one tank. It's impossible. You're violating the laws of physics. These people are looking for investors, or they want to say something, and they're lying. Oh, anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there. What peeves me off is they keep having this stuff in your feeds, but they don't put fact checker signs all over it like they do when I state a real obvious and unequivocal fact. They say it's false because they don't like it, and then they ban it. But they continue to put frauds in there for you to look at. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, fight the good fight. It's kind of noisy here. I'm going to cut this one off. We'll make another one later today. Uncle Bildy, shining out.